afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Awaken the World Suddenly Live Quick Talk. The time, of course, is right now. And today we talk about the fine art of aging. And guess who the subject of that is? So, I want to talk about some important aspects of aging, and the reason why is because I, of course, am my own example. And this is very valuable to us to keep in mind as we grow older, okay? Point number one, you are not your body. And understanding that as you grow older can be extremely beneficial. And it plays into point number two, which we're going to talk about next, and that is our mental state of mind as we age. When we are overly identified with the body as being who we are, when things inevitably, and trust me, they will, go wrong, okay, and let's just use the words of the day and leave it alone and just say go wrong, stop functioning right. If we're overly identified with that, we're going to experience a lot of egoic suffering because we perceive the literal disintegration and the inability to do what you used to do at a body level. And this is very disturbing to the ego and can cause a lot of suffering. And as I was speaking about the friend that we have yesterday, that was indeed the subject that was very difficult for her, was facing the body's disintegration, facing things failing to function as they did once before. And we all exist with this Superman complex. And the reason we do, of course, is that at our higher level of being, we know we are supermen and women. Actually, beyond that, simply a super being. Okay? A being of energy, of light, of divine presence. But overly identified with that body, we will suffer as we age from an egoic point of view. So learning to disidentify with the body, learning to understand that the body is an energy field, that which you are is manifesting, and that you are the silent awareness behind the thoughts, observing it all. And the issues with my back that began some 40 years ago, that are now manifesting in the way they are so much easier to deal with, because I know I'm not my body, and that failure to, or it's not a failure actually, the willingness to look at the truth of it and to not overly identify with my body as being part of me, because it's really not. No different than the car you drive to work in. It is a vessel in which you get in and you use. The body is the same. Keeping this in mind, realizing this, contemplating this during meditation, understanding that you are the awareness will serve you so much as you age. You know, this plays directly into, as I said, the second point, and that is our mental state of being as we age. And if we are overly identified with the physical, overly identified with our ability to do things, overly identified and stiff in our thinking, we're going to experience immense suffering as we age. And that suffering is truly self-generated, and it can do a lot of harm to our body and actually make things worse. You know, I'll relay a quick little story to you. Yesterday I stopped by the store, and there was a absolutely beautiful, I don't know, 15, 16-year-old girl there who, she mucks out horse stalls in the morning to support getting her horse lessons. She has to go out there every day and do it first thing in the morning. And she works part-time at the store, and she's a straight A student, and she's just so full of life and energy. And her and I were talking yesterday because, of course, Kelly and I love horseback riding, and I was so excited to see her again after not seeing her for at least a couple of months. And she had the information for me to get a hold of this lady, and it never even crossed my mind that my back was not going to allow me to get onto a horse for at least another year. And I came home and Kelly had to say to me, well, what about your back? And I kind of stopped mid-babble and then had to laugh at myself because I had totally forgotten about my back. And this is the way things tend to be as we age, because of course our mind is still stuck in the idea that we're really a super being, which we are, but this body is not. And we have to be comfortable and okay with that. Learning to watch with some amusement as the vehicle begins to break down, as the parts don't quite function the way they used to, as the alignment begins to go out, as the gears begin to slip a little bit, can actually be quite humorous, quite entertaining, and quite enlightening if you allow it to be. You can view it instead as the slow dissolution of the robe of illusion that you wore for your entire life. And soon, one day, you will be free of that robe. And you will take all the experience with you and stand there alive and well on the other side of the veil. Much love to you today from both myself, Garen, and of course Kelly. Namaste. We will see you again very soon.